That feeling when you're chasing someone and they just log out is the worst, man. You know, every server should have a combat log, in my opinion, at least. And that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you how to make a combat log script. So you better listen up. So you're going to start out with on damage. And I'm just going to do attacker is a player and victim is a player as well. So that way you don't enter combat if you hit a mob, only if you hit a player. Anyway, then I want to do it as a function. So I'm going to do function. I'm going to name it combat, I think. Yeah, just combat. And the only thing we're going to need is player. Then we're going to do if, and then a variable. I'm just going to name it combat dot, let's do player. So we're going to use the variable for the player that we defined up here. And if that is false, we're then going to set combat.cooldown dot the player as well to, let's say, 15. So the cooldown is going to be 15 seconds. We're going to set the same variable up here to true. And while combat cooldown up here is not 0, we're going to remove 1 from the cooldown. And we're going to send a little action bar. I think I'm just going to do something like in red, in combat. We can do a fancy line, and I actually want to show how many seconds are left. So I'm going to use the combat cooldown variable here as well. And seconds remain. I'm going to end it with. And we're going to do 2p at the end. The next thing is if combat cooldown is 0, then we're going to set the combat variable itself to false. And down here we're going to add wait 1 second. And at the very, very end of our function, I'm going to add a little else statement. So set our cooldown here. We're going to set it to 15 seconds once again. So if the player gets hit and is already in combat, it will just get reset to 15 seconds. Alright, so then we want to call the function, which is pretty simple. You just write the function's name and whatever thing you defined. So we need a type of player, so I'm going to do it for victim and attacker. And that's the whole reason I made the function, is because I can run it for victim and attacker as well. And down here on quit, we're going to do if the combat variable is true. And we got to remember to change this to just normal player, because we're no longer in the function. And if that is true, we're going to kill the player. So that's the combat log. We can also set the combat variable, remember to change the player to false again. And we can also reset the cooldown down here. So whenever you combat log, you actually reset the cooldown. And the last thing we also want to do is on death. So every time a person dies, we're also going to reset these two variables up here. Or I guess not reset, but like set them to 0 and false. Oh, I just realized these need to be victim instead of just player. So that's pretty much it for the combat log script. So let's copy the whole thing and test it out in game. So all you got to do is go to your file manager, go to plugins, go to script, go to scripts, and create a new file. I'm going to name it combatlog.sk. And we just find it wherever it is, right here. We paste the script and we click save. And that should do it. Alright, all we gotta do is sk reload combat, I think I called it combat log, and no errors. Now, how do I test this? There's no one on my server. /add join free money. Oi, 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 people are joining. Alright, let's teleport to this guy. Let's see. And look at that, the combat log works. Get him! Get him! Get him! You're never gonna get me. I'm gonna log out. And as you can see, I died when I logged out. Well, that was pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any further questions, make sure to join my Discord server. And, yeah. That was pretty much it. Ah!